My playlist, it's Quarantine Sunday on Spotify. There's links to everything.
Do you have enough juice in there?
What?
Enough power on that?
Yeah, before.
Okay.
Okay. So there's links to everything in the video description about how to find my webpage, how to find a way to donate, and a link to the website. So it's kind of like a weird, bittersweet feeling that I'm here. I've been really trying to do this a lot. I've had a few failed attempts, and so I'm happy that this has challenged me to get out of my comfort zone and start doing these videos. So I know there's a lot of you that practice with your dogs and your kids and your teenagers, so I was going to quick go through a little intro to yoga just so you kind of know what's going on a little bit better. You're never going to know what to expect when you walk onto your yoga mat, but there are some basic poses, some traditional things we do that I just wanted to start to explain a little bit better, just so you know some of the foundations and the basics. So welcome, I'm YogiAmy. I hope you all are well. We all need this so much. Yoga isn't just about touching your toes, it's about touching your heart and finding vitality and happiness. So it's really weird not to have anyone to teach to. I'm like teaching to a camera right now, so bear with me. But when you come into a yoga class, it's pretty much based on breath, the whole class, because the breath controls the nervous system, and the nervous system controls everything. So your brain, your mood, your sleep, your digestion. And when we don't breathe and when we live our stressed out lives, our body produces something called cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And cortisol takes over everything. It's the head honcho. It shuts down your digestive system, your immunity, all of that stuff, because it's a stress hormone and the body's stressed out. So when the body's stressed out, it doesn't focus on digestion and your mood and your skin and all that stuff. So breath, I think, is most important out of anything, even over the shapes. If you sit and breathe for 10 minutes, or sit and do some yoga for 10 minutes but don't breathe, you're going to get much more benefits from just sitting in stillness and breathing. So we're not really taught how to breathe. It's just kind of a natural thing, so we don't really think about it. But the nose is specifically designed to breathe. It's got little hairs and all sorts of stuff in the nose to purify the breath. So right now, it's a very important time to start practicing nasal breath. But it's also a challenging thing, it's allergy season, so luckily we have the mouth just in case the nose doesn't work. But what you want to start doing is practicing breathing through the nose and smoothing out the breath. We tend to over-inhale as a society, so, excuse me. We over-inhale because we're stressed and anxious, and then we don't exhale out enough. So there's stuff left in the bottom of our lungs because we're not exhaling enough. We're anxious. We're inhaling all the time. So really focus on the exhale. Make it the same length as the inhale, or maybe even a little bit longer. I like to practice during times of anxiousness or times I just need to ground. A 6-count inhale, a 2-count hold at the top, really nice and full, and then an 8-count exhale. So that exhale really helps just balance that nervous system, really calm you down, get you out of that anxiety. So no matter what you do for the next half an hour, hour and a half, 24, 48 hours, practice breath, deep breathing, because that's what the body needs right now. It will train the body, it will help the body to get to that spot where it can actually heal, and you can actually digest your food, and you can actually get a good night's sleep, and you can actually wake up cheerful. So the breath is so important. And it speaks to the brain. We have a little olfactory bulb on each side, and that communicates with the brain. The mouth doesn't have that. So that's why I really like essential oils, because when you breathe essential oils through your nose, that olfactory bulb actually starts to speak to your brain and calm it down or balance it or invigorate it or help release trauma. So the breath, yogis, is so important. Even if you get frustrated today, even if you want to cry today, breathe. I mean, those are all normal emotions. So it's normal to be angry, to be pissed, to be sad. All of that stuff is normal. But what we need to do is learn how to keep breathing and keep balanced and not let those emotions get the best of us. Because, you know, we can get mad about somebody cutting us off in traffic, and we sit in our car and we get more mad, and pretty soon it's consumed us. Our jaws clenched, you know, our hands are clenched. So we need to learn how to let that stuff go, and breath is the way to do it. So breath, 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 breathe, no matter what, wherever you are. Big deep breaths. Make the exhales loud if you want. I actually sometimes like exhaling out the mouth just because sometimes it just helps let it go. So breath, 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 breath. So we'll usually start out with some breathing exercises in the beginning of yoga just to get your mind centered, and then we start with a warm-up. So I usually like to do things like cat and cows because they really help you get into your body. It's kind of like a morning stretch type of an activity. But what I want to teach you first before we do that is placement of the hands, because we do a lot of downward pressure on our hands and wrists during class. So it's really important to learn how to protect your hands. So the first thing you really want to do is spread your hands actively from thumb to pinky finger. And when you place your hands on the floor, I'll show you here on my maps, what you're looking for is the crease of the wrist being parallel with the front of the mat. So nothing like this, nothing like this. You want that wrist crease parallel to the front of the mat. Hands spread nice and actively. Now, another really important thing is where to put the pressure. We automatically put the pressure right here on our wrist. This part right here, in fact, and that's called a carpal tunnel. It's a tunnel. We don't want to press down on tunnels. So we want to really focus all through class, especially if you're a veteran, to put the pressure into this L shape right here. The index finger and the thumb in this webbing, I would say probably gets about 75% of the weight. And it's tough because we're used to just pressing our hands down and putting the pressure here. But you really want to focus on the L shape, and then the rest of the pressure gets applied through the knuckles right here and through the fingertips. So when you place your hands down, most of the pressure is in that L shape. I like to think, now this is goofy and it may work for you, but I like to think when my hands are on the floor that my wrists are trying to be sucked up into my armpit. So it's not like I could actually slide a piece of paper under there, but that's kind of what I want you to feel, that you're so light in there that something could slide. So I'll practice with you today, and when I practice, I do a lot of stuff off of my wrists. So I've been practicing for years and years, and this to me, it works sometimes, but I've gotten to be strong enough throughout the years to bring myself off of my wrists, and so the pressure is right where it's supposed to be, and the wrist is strengthening instead of this. So just work through that, and know it may take a little bit, you know, for you to get that right hand placement down, but if you are going to start practicing yoga, it is imperative to take care of your hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders, heart, lungs, belly, knees, toes, all of it. So, cat and cows. I'm going to use a blanket because my floor is really solid, and I hope it's okay that, Scott, I'm kneeling on your quilt of valor.
It's fine.
Okay,
Cool.
yeah. My sweet husband has this beautiful quilt of valor. Is that what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to use that underneath my knees. And I'm going to spread my hands actively. And so I'll take you through cat and cows. They're pretty basic. They open up the front and the back of the body. So spread your hands actively. If this still isn't going to work, look at what our bodies can do. We can protect our wrists by bringing our forearms down. So it's really up to you. So cow, I mean, we're from Wisconsin, so we know cows have those big droopy bellies. But we want to open up our hearts to lift your gaze if you don't have cervical spine issues. Open up up your heart, drop your belly, feel your tailbone lifting up, and then cat shape. So that's the opposite. It's a scaredy cat. We're opening up through the back of the body, chin to your chest, belly pulls in, tailbone pulls forward. So those are your basic cat and cows. I always offer up to start to move your cat and cows in a way that feels better. While I love tradition, I also do not, because tradition kind of gets us stuck sometimes. So even though we have our cat and cows, usually whenever I'm teaching these, you can feel free to move around and just open up your body, kind of like if you have a pet. Watching your pet stretch, they just do what feels good. They don't care who's watching, they don't care what label is on their yoga pants, they just move to feel good. So then from there, I suppose I'm going to take off my slippers. Down dog. So down dog's actually, I think, a pretty advanced shape. You have to have a healthy upper body to be able to practice it. So you spread your hands actively, like I had mentioned, and this time you're going to tuck the toes underneath. So I'm going to show you down dog, and then I'll show you its modifications. So, oh, Sonia moved the thing. All right. So spreading my hands actively, tucking the toes, pressing the heart back. Gentle bend to the elbows. Never lock the elbows out. Never lock the legs out. Notice my heels don't even touch the floor, so it's fine. So spreading my hands actively, widening through my armpits. You see that happen? So I'm really spreading my chest wide. I'm pushing my heart towards the back of my thighs. My heels just naturally start to drop, stretching out through the back of the body. So again, anytime I'm in down dog, you're always welcome to walk it around and do what you want. Thank you, Cabana Boy. And breathe. So, down dog, Ardha Mukha Shavasana, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. There's 1,000 ways to pronounce the poses, and each pose has like 8 English names to it, so it gets confusing. So, this is down dog. So an option for down dog would be to stay on your knees and just walk your hands out. So you're still getting that really nice chest opening of down dog. Your hands are just not getting the pressure of down dog. So that's an option. Again, forearms, lifting of the hips. This is not an easier form of down dog, but it does protect the wrists a little bit more. Pressing the heart back, widening out through the heart. Otherwise, you probably don't have a block, but if you do, I use these all the time in yoga because they rock. So if you don't have a block, I just brought out one of my rollers because those work too. If you don't have one of those, a water bottle will probably do too. So another form of down dog is to just take the stance you would in down dog. So nice actively spread the legs, but then you bring something underneath your hands and then you drop your head. So honestly, yogis, I am getting the exact same sensations from this shape that I am from this shape. I just don't have the pressure on my wrists. So modifying doesn't mean that you suck. It means actually that you're a good yogi, because the easy thing to do is to force your body and do exactly what your teacher says and do exactly what everyone else is doing. That's the easy way. That's your ego taking you through yoga. The hard thing to do is to listen and to take the shapes that make you better. Not that feed tension and negativity and blaming and shaming. The shape. We didn't even set up the microphone yet.
Turn it on, please.
Okay, yogis, hopefully my microphone is working now. I hope you guys saw or heard at least a little bit of that. All right, so down dog and then chaturangas. And this is something I really kind of have a beef with. We do them a lot in yoga. They're very traditional, and the ego wants you to do chaturangas because they look cool, but they're done they're not done correctly. So if we keep doing them over and over and over again, it's going to cause an injury. So I'm going to take you through a quick 101 of chaturangas. So we do flows in yoga. So pretty much every class is going to say take a flow, find your flow. And I'm going to show you traditionally what that means. So down dog, and I'll say take your flow, which means coming forward to a plank. Now this is the traditional one, lowering to your chaturanga, tucking your toes underneath, lifting to up dog, tucking your toes again and pressing back to down dog. So that's what the ego wants you to do. But that's really tough to do because what I see a lot of people do is this. And you need to be way out here with those elbows over those wrists. The hips do not sink down. We really pull the belly up and in, and as you do that, feel the low back starting to expand. Tailbone pulls toward the back of the room. So this is your plank. Plank can be on your knees. Plank can be on your forearms. Plank can be skipped completely. So from down dog or a child's pose, you'll usually roll forward into your plank and you'll start to lower. So I'll show you the option on your knees. You can lower, pull the heart forward, elbows squeeze in, heart is opening up, belly in, lowering. Now right about here, I think, oh crap, I hit my mic, nope. Right about in this area here, I don't really like lowering into that space because that's where the damage happens. So I'm a big fan of always lowering halfway down and then coming up, but I'll show you how to do that correctly. So if you're new to yoga, if you have shoulder, wrist, elbow issues, this is how I want you to do your chaturangas. When you roll forward from your down dog, you drop your knees, you pull your heart forward, keep your booties high, drop your heart down. So you got that tricep push up, but you're not putting all that load into the back of your body and the front of your chest. So today, if you're new, I want you to keep that booty high, drop the heart, but try and get the heart to drop in front of your fingertips. We don't want the elbows to go back here. We want the elbows to stay over the wrists, dropping down, opening through the heart, heart down. And then you'll flatten the whole body out and lift your upper body up into cobra. So this is a beautiful back bend, opening up the heart and strengthening the back. So I'll show you that again, yogis. For beginners, your flow will be down dog to tabletop, heart forward, dropping the heart, booty high, flatten yourself out, dig your toenails into the earth, I call it the pedicure runer, and come on up. And then you lower down and press back to either child's pose or down dog. So that's your level 1. You saw like the level 5, that advanced shape. So you can always be on your knees, yogis. It's fine. You can skip these completely. I never do all the flows. They hurt my elbows, my wrists, just after all these years. So what I do is when a teacher says, find your flow, I roll forward into plank. I turn my toenails down, drop my belly, lift my gaze for that back bend, which I love, tuck my toes, and press back. So you notice I didn't lower down at all into that chaturanga. So traditional flow, fine. If that is what serves your body, great. Modified flow, fine. Again, the hard thing to do is to listen to your body and modify for your own body. The easy thing to do is to follow your ego and injure your body. So make the flows whatever you need them to be. If you need them to be a child's pose, let them be a child's pose. If you need it to be a time to pet your dog, let it be a time to pet your dog. So you go through these flows and they really are whatever you need them to be. So I'm just showing you the options so you don't injure yourself. It moves sometimes pretty fast. So, all right, Sonia, go lay down, mamas.
Sonia, hey, come here. Come here.
All right, and then, so let's see what time we got here.
10:22.
I got about 8 more minutes. So I think those are really, honestly, the things that I watch for the most is people breathing. people not locking their elbows or knees in those chaturangas. They're really tough to do. So maybe try one for every hour class you do. Do them next to a mirror. That's something I usually don't recommend, but really checking out that alignment, making sure your elbows stay over your wrists. So when your heart drops, look how far forward my heart is. So that's what I'd like you to practice. And then we do things like lifting one leg in a down dog. So something like that. That can always be done in a tabletop, yogis. And I may ask you to bend the knee and stack the hip. So that'll work in a tabletop too. And a knee to nose, I do a lot of these in yoga. These can be done from a tabletop or a down dog. So you have options, and what I want you to really start to notice is who you are when you practice. Who you become in chaturanga. What drives you to chaturanga? What drives you to sit out? What drives you to do this? And if it's something you want to add to your life, intensify in your life, seal in, or if it's not a good thing. You know, I come from a mind that shames a lot, that judges a lot, so yoga has taught me how to just be okay with that. You know, it's a part of me. We all have these emotions. But when you get really irritated when you're mad, or when you get really shameful when you're depressed, you just keep creating that dialogue and that energy, and our thoughts become things. So you really want to come to the mat, yes, to gain flexibility of the body, but flexibility of the soul, the heart, the ability to maintain balance during times like these. This is what yoga is about. Now is the time for yoga. So we can stay healthy even in times like this, because our body knows how to. So I think I may just quick take you through a few standing poses while I got a few minutes. So usually from down dog, or like I said, a tabletop, we'll lift up a leg and we'll bring it through. So it takes a lot of strength to be able to bring that foot all the way through. So if you're starting out, your foot may go here. You may hoist that bad boy all the way up here. So high crescent lunge is going to be feet hip distance apart, 10 toes pointing forward, and then rising up. What I see is the ribs sticking out. So I want you to focus on pulling the ribs in for space for that low back, rotating the tailbone down, and then making sure this front knee is not like that. So we really want to strengthen into the outside of that leg by keeping that knee over the ankle. Warrior one is similar to high crescent lunge. The back foot's different. So the back foot angles towards the side of the mat. And then we sink in. The intention is to get this thigh parallel to the floor. Don't worry about it. What I want you to really work on is squaring the ribs, the shoulders. Your arms do not need to be up here. Anytime, yogis, this adds tension sometimes. Whenever I'm in a warrior shape, I always leave some space for my shoulders. So you can do goalposts, you can do hands at the heart, or hands at the hip, anytime with those arms, my friends. So don't worry about where your arms are, worry about what you need to be better, to be softer, to be more balanced. And then we'll go through a flow. You know, we'll start linking breath with movements. You don't have to hit every single pose. That's not what it's about. But check in with yourself when you don't hit a pose and see who you become. If you get mad at yourself or judge yourself, that's what we want to pay attention to. We don't want to pay attention to if we're touching our toes. We want to pay attention to if we're getting space in our body, if we're healing our hearts and minds. And that's hard. It's a challenging thing. Am I good?
A couple more minutes, yeah.
Okay. So, and then the cool thing about yoga is it's got a really unique pattern to it. where it starts you off very meditative, very soft, and then it takes you higher into a peak, and then it takes you down. And usually the taking down part is the hardest part, because that's when our minds kick in and we're like, okay, it's time to go, it's time to cook dinner, it's time to do this, this, and this. But yoga's designed a specific way where that end is so important. Even if you don't want to be there, learning to breathe. Oh, there's a cardinal flying around in the background back there. That's very sweet. Cardinals remind me of my dad. So there's a cardinal flying around in the back window here. Hi, Dad. So it's very important to learn how to breathe when you don't want to do something, you know, when you're uncomfortable, when there's tension. So try to stick with it. We'll slow it down. We'll take some deeper stretches towards the end. And then we end in a meditation, a shavasana, a peaceful breathing time, whatever you want to call it. And that can be on your back. It can be seated. It can be on your head. It really doesn't matter. Just take a comfortable shape and we focus on being still. Because when we can do that, my husband is distracting the crap out of me. Sorry, guys. He's probably playing a video game back there and he got high score or something. All right. So then there's stillness and breath, because when we're still, that's when our body actually does the best healing. And stillness probably is the balance to your hectic, fast-paced, moving life. So it's a practice. It's not a perfect. So just be present, try and be accepting, try and be loving, and breathe. I mean, that's, I think, what we need today. So I think I should probably think about starting class. So there's 2 more minutes. I don't know if anyone has any questions that they want to shoot through. Scott can read them to me. Otherwise, we'll think about getting started. Again, all the links to donate are in the video description. If you have a second, you could probably share this right now and keep it going over all of Instagram and Facebook. Let's heal the world. There are links to my Spotify soundtrack. I cannot play the music. Oh, hi, Mama. You know. She wants to be famous. She's got such a bad cough. Okay. Good girl. All right, so make sure you have some water. If you need a blanket for your knees, we will be on the knees a little bit today. I'm going to try and do my best. I have to do the whole practice with you today and just kind of teach to myself. So I'll try not to get too caught up in my head and forget a side or something, which I tend to do. So Scott will be paying attention to your comments, because we had a few issues yesterday with my microphone and just stuff going on. So if you do want to write a comment, first of all, love the video. Makes me so happy. I see them all. So like and love and share. And then yeah, links to everything, my Instagram, my YouTube, all of that stuff. I'm just learning how to download my Facebook Live videos so I can upload them to YouTube. I'm figuring it out. So bear with me, but this is my quickest way to access you guys. It seems to be working. So we're doing some Facebook Lives. I appreciate all the donations, the photos of you guys doing yoga with your dogs and your families. So this will be a kid-friendly session, so I will do my best to keep it kid-friendly. I'm usually pretty good at that, but you never know when I gotta talk for an hour straight what's gonna come out of my mouth, so fingers crossed. Hope I don't get in Facebook jail. All right, so 10:31. Welcome, Sunday Flow. We're gonna keep it kind of mellow, move a lot with the breath today. Just enjoy that we're alive. We woke up. We're in a safe space in our homes. And I know you all have toilet paper and hand sanitizer and paper towel and water. So what else do you need in life? So I'm going to start my playlist. There is a link to my playlist. I can't play the music with the video, so I will be, but very softly. So if you want to go to my playlist, it's linked in the description. And then I'm going to start on yoga meditation. So if you're just joining, there's we already did a half an hour intro, so the music played for that. So if you want to start with me, go ahead and start playing at the yoga meditation. It's the 5th song down. All right. Welcome to Sunday Morning Flow. I have my husband's Quilt of Valor here with me to practice for my knees. We will be on our knees a little bit today, so make sure that you have something safe for your knees. And all right, I miss you guys, but like I was saying in the beginning of this video, it's very bittersweet. This is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, which is reach out to the world with yoga. And my video yesterday really did that, and it really opened up my heart, and connection is what I want. I want you all to feel happy, even if you're sad, even if you don't look the way you want to look. Just being able to find a little bit of breath and acceptance, maybe even if it's just between the 4 corners of the mat. Finding acceptance is so important. So I'm going to scold my husband quick and tell him to not distract me for the next 60 minutes. He's all I have to look at. So no, I'll start practicing. It'll be good. I'm going to practice with y'all, so I'm excited.
How do you interact with life if you can't continue on focusing with distractions happening? That's a lesson.
So I love it when my husband uses my yoga words against me. Love you. Okay, anyway. And this is what, just day 2 we've been isolated together, so let's see what happens. Okay, anyway, yoga. So find a comfortable spot, whether it's seated, whether it's on your back, wherever you can just feel comfortable. And we're gonna start to breathe, because that breath is so important, and I'm gonna keep weaving that throughout the entire class today. Breathing will keep us healthy, it keeps us alive and balanced. So I like to close my eyes just because it helps to take the focus inward. And then just start to draw the breath in through the nose if you can. Start to even out that breath. The exhales can be a little bit longer than the inhales. We tend to over inhale, causing a little bit more anxiety in our world. Inhale to find space. Exhale to let go. Weaving that through your whole practice today. Inhale to find space, belly, low back, chest. Exhale to soften the jaw, the shoulders, the hips, the knees. And as you breathe, start to notice where your tension is. That's actually a really big skill of yoga. Simply identifying our tension. We tend to ignore it, maybe even shame it, run away from it. So just feel your tension, because it's a part of you yogis and we all have it. Don't add a story to it or any negativity to it. Just breathe space into where you feel that stickiness. And exhaling, letting all that tension go.
What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun on the back.
Start to play around with breathing through the nose versus the mouth. It's something we don't need to think about, breathing. It just happens. But it's one of the things in our body, one of the few things that we can do voluntarily and involuntary. So let's voluntarily breathe deeper. In through the nose if you can. Let out a big HA exhale, yogis, out the mouth. Inhaling bigger through the nose, belly, chest, low back, maybe hips. Exhale it out. Keep going, yogis. Maybe you start to draw the inhales and exhales through the nose. What's going on in your mind? You getting anxious? That's normal. Notice it. Breathe in this moment. Miss Brené Brown says, living in the future manifests anxiety. Living in the past manifests depression. Here, now is the time to live. Heart, lungs, fingers, toes, safety, maybe even surrounded by love. All right, yogis, go ahead and find your way to a seat if you're not already there. We're gonna start just by rolling those shoulders back and down. It's Sunday morning. Let's roll them around. Any comfortable seat does not matter to me, but find that breath still. Even when you transition through shapes, breathe. This is a huge transition time. Spring's coming up. Transitions are challenging. Change is challenging in our world. Start to switch directions or make it crazy. So we want to practice breathing. Even if we need to reach for our water bottle, breathing. Even if you need to take a break, we're breathing. So we want to keep that breath going all through class. So when we get to Shavasana, we're ready. So just keep rolling those shoulders. I'm going to take a sip of water. All right, and then go ahead and bring that right ear to the right shoulder. Do not hunch forward. Lift up through that heart, shoulders back and down. Don't let the bottom ribs flare out. So pull those ribs in and sink the tailbone. And then nice upright spine as the right ear drops the right shoulder. Pull the shoulders back and down. Breathe. Inhale, space. Exhale, softness. Breathe. What do you feel? Bring your right hand to your head, help it up. It's really normal to get lightheaded or a little bit nauseous after those. We're opening up through the lymphatic system and breathing. So make sure you're not hunching forward, lifting through that heart. Feel that stretch. The lymph node, the tonsil right here is opening up, breathing. And then just start to roll your chin down towards your chest and right ear, right shoulder, and keep going with this, yogis. If you have neck issues, just don't do it as deeply, or go back to the shoulder exercise, or if you have a favorite neck exercise from your PT or chiro, you can put it in here for sure. Just keep breathing. All right, we're gonna bring that head back to neutral. Put your hands behind you and try and press the floor away and lift your heart. But don't let the hips come off the floor. Keep that solid, firm foundation rooting down. Smile the collarbones, lift the heart. And if you don't have any issues in your neck, go ahead and release your head back. Keep actively pressing the floor away, but sinking the hips. Breathing into the front of the heart where the confidence and courage, authenticity come from, yogis. Find that space. You deserve it. Last one. I like to help my head up. All right, yogis, find your breath. Shake your hands out a little bit. Get those wrists ready. Front and back, side to side. Make it crazy. Let your arms go. Have fun. Get that tension out of there. Breathe. All right, so we're gonna place our hands at the top of our mat, bringing our knees underneath us. Keep breathing, yogis. I'm gonna face you guys so you can see me, but you guys take the full length of your mat. We're gonna go ahead and extend that right leg out to the side. Breathing here, we're gonna do some cat and cows. Inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhaling into cat, pressing the floor away, chin to your chest. Keep going with your cat and cows. Now this is a modification on the normal cat and cow. If this is not working in your low back or your right knee, go ahead and just draw that knee in and just give me some of those cat and cows, yogis. Big deep breaths. If a spot feels good, hold it. That's what yoga's about. Not letting the ego force you to do what it thinks you need to do because your neighbor's doing it. Close your eyes. Take your neighbor out of the picture. Beautiful. Flatten out that back. Tuck the left toe underneath. Sink your hips back. And then come forward. And then sink your hips back. Left hip to left heel. And then come forward. And keep going with this. Now I know I have some advanced yogis with me. If you want to tuck those left toes underneath and start to take this into some weird plank version thingy. I don't know what the name for this is, but you are welcome to. I just want you guys to pay attention to what you need. You got 3 more breaths. Inhale for space, exhale to let go. I'm going to inhale for space and I'm going to exhale, blow the dog hair away. There we go. All right, drop that left knee down if it was off the ground. Start to walk your hands over so the left hand is in line with that left knee. Reach your right arm up and over your head, yogis. Breathing here. Now, if it feels easier, we will be this way for a little bit. So if you guys do want to turn and face the camera or whatever works for you, that's fine. Swing the right arm out in front of you. Reach out in front of you. Right hand goes to the right knee. Left arm follows that same path. And then you bring it up. Left bicep to the left ear, stretching out through that left side body. Tailbone down, lengthen even this right side body. Even though you're crunching that way, lengthen. Breathe, yogis. Take that left arm. Let's do some arm circles here. How much space can you get with that top arm? Breathe. And then switching directions. If you have shoulder issues, maybe something like this would feel better. You guys get to find out what works the best for you. Bring that left arm back up and over your head, and then left arm is going to follow that track. Drop it towards the right foot, swing it out and over. Right hand follows, up and over. Finding that again, yogis. Keep going here. If you don't like this option, you can bring it through the center line instead of reaching out in front of you. Just let your bodies move. I don't care what they look like. You shouldn't either. Let's breathe and feel good. Let's do a few more, yogis. Really nice job. And then both hands are going to end up out in front of us again where we started. Bring that right knee up and in. And do some cat and cows here. Breathing, yogis. Well done. When you're ready, left leg extends out. Hands stay where they are. Cat and cows, if that feels okay. Feeling the difference between opening up the front of the body, opening up the back of the body. And now noticing where your mind's going. We're hardwired to keep processing and thinking and analyzing. This is not the time. But don't get mad at yourself. Just be present for who you are. Learn your highs, learn your lows, so they're not as scary. 3 more breaths here, yogis.
Looking for soul food and went to the up should have seen him go. They said,
Neutral spine.
take a walk on,
Tuck those right toes underneath. Press your right hip back.
take a walk on the wild.
And now inhale, come forward as far as you can. And exhale, sink back. Inhale forward.
Jackie is
And exhale back. You guys keep going with that for a few breaths. Again, my advanced yogis can tuck that back. I hate that word, advanced yogis. If you want to tuck that back toe underneath and lift that knee up off the floor, go for it. You got about 3 more. I think an advanced yogi is someone that shows up on their mat every day.
and the color girl said,
And yoga doesn't even need to be about a mat practice. Yoga can be about meditating in a run, or hugging your family, or doing something that takes you away into happiness and passion. Last one, yogi, is really nice. Put that right knee down. If it came up off the earth, right knee and right hand in line with the right knee. Left arm reaches up over the head, stretch. Press the floor away with that right hand. Turn the left armpit behind you a little bit more. Try and see the ceiling if it's accessible. Inhale. Left arm swoops down in front of you. Make a big semicircle. Left hand, left knee, right arm comes up and over, torso upright, but reaching to the left side of the mat. Big arm circles. Oh, yogis, I love yoga. Switch directions, make it crazy, make it still. I can't tell what you need. Thank goodness, because if I was in all 400, 600,000 of your heads, I don't know what I could do. So all I can deal is with what's going on inside me. So you guys enjoy. And then when you're ready, we're gonna swing those 2 shapes together, or whatever feels the best, just to let your bodies move. If it's scary, good. Breathe. Learn who you are when you're scared, so your nervous system doesn't stress itself out. Learn how it feels to be awkward and brave and on the edge of your comfort zone. Right where I am this whole hour, yogis. Thanks for waking up with me. Let's take 3 more. A lovely day. Oh God, I'll try not to sing. The microphone's right here. All right, you guys, bring both hands back down to the center. Draw that right knee in. Let's find our first down dog, tucking our toes. Welcome to flow, yogis. Move that head around, bend the knees, whatever you need. Make this like your morning stretch. Press the heart back, widen through the armpits. You got it, yogis. We're gonna work through a flow. Join me when you're ready. Look to those hands, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Lengthen your spine, halfway lift, belly in, shoulders engage on the back, gentle bend to those knees. Exhale, fold. Let's try that a few more times. Halfway lift, belly is in, spine is lengthening, shoulders engage on the back. Exhale, forward fold. Few more. Inhale, make your back a bar top. And exhale, forward fold. Sweep the arms open wide. Come on up, yogis. Inhale. Hands to your heart. Soften your shoulders. Soften your knees. Who are we going to practice for today, yogis? I practice for each one of you with all my heart. All right, let's start our flow. Sweep the arms open. Take a big inhale in. We're alive. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. You know that one. Exhale, plant the hands, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Now I'm going to pause here in high plank. Spread your fingers actively. Press down into the index finger and the thumb and the webbing between it. Press the heels back. Pull the belly in. Don't let those hips drop. Drop the knees if you need to, yogis. Drop down to the forearms if you need to. Inhale. Down dog, or just press your hips back if you're on your knees. Inhale, lengthen forward. See how far you can get that heart to reach forward. Exhale back. So we're getting some wrist strength and stretch here too. Spread the hands actively. Make sure the wrist crease is in line with the front of the mat, so they're nice and parallel. Again, you can be doing this in down dog to plank. I'm just in the modification. Breathing, challenging the breath. Next time we come forward, yogis, please hold. Breathe. Now, if you're on your knees, bend your elbows and just drop your heart down. And then if you're here, drop your belly and lift your upper body up. If you do traditional flows, yogis, I'm going to show you what to do. So everybody go back to down dog or child's pose and breathe. A more traditional flow would be inhaling to high plank. Exhaling, lowering down halfway, elbows over the shoulders. This is a chaturanga. Toenails go to the earth, up dog. Hips are off the floor. Wrists are pulling towards my hips. Heart is opening up. Tucking the toes to down dog. Traditions sometimes suck. So we don't have to be traditional. We can be on our knees, rolling forward into plank, lowering our heart down first, and then coming through to cobra. Same type of a back bend as up dog. It does not matter what shapes you make in this back bend as long as you're opening up your heart and strengthening your back. Down dog. So let's take a few of those on our own, yogis. Breathe. Inhale, roll forward to plank or plank on your knees. Exhale, lower down, elbows touch the sides of the body. Lift your upper body up and exhale, down dog. I'll do a modified one, yogis. Inhale, roll yourself forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Breathe. And now after all that practice, yogis, you can skip those if you need to. Look to the hands, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Press through the feet and rise on up in an inhale. Hands to your heart, yogis, just to check in with who we are. If we're adding positivity or chaos. Sweep the arms open, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant the hands, step back to your plank or plank on your knees. Lower all the way down, take your flow, yogis. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, down dog. Look to those hands, walk, step, or float those feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, yogis, let it go. Press through the feet and come on up. It's a brand new moment. Hands to your heart. Breathe. Sweep those arms open, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank and flow, yogis. You can lower down. You can skip these. You can press back to down dog while everyone else does their own thing. These flows are meant for you to reset, to recharge. All right, from here, we're gonna step the feet together and lift that right leg up. Three-legged dog or three-legged tabletop, yogis. Lift from the inside of that right leg, inhale. Now exhale, bring that right knee to your nose. Press the floor away, try and kiss that right knee. Shoot the leg back, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, almost like a cat shape here. Inhale, shoot that leg back. Knee to nose and hold, yogis. Now we're going to try and get that right foot in between our hands. So you can kick it up there or help it up there. 10 toes point forward, back knee drops. Low lunge. Hands on the floor, sink down heavy. Because how many of us allow ourselves to feel heavy during the day? If you're trying to make yourself smaller, allow yourself to feel heavy. Allow that balance to come in. And now it is completely up to you, yogis. Keep finding that breath. If you want to reach your hands up to your knee, rolling your shoulders down your back, pressing the hips down, you're welcome to. We are going to add some breath. So inhale if you want to join. Sweep the arms open. Remember, inhale space. Exhale, hands float to the floor. See how soft you can get. Come back up. Inhale, strength in length. Hands to the floor. Exhale. Give me about 3 more of those, yogis. I'm going to reset up my blanket here. Two more. Inhale. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. This time, just drop the left hand down. We're going to twist towards the right edge of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, right hand down to the floor. Left arm open. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale, right arm. Exhale down. Last one, yogis. Inhale left. Exhale down. Frame that front foot. Tuck the back toes underneath. Step the right foot back and flow, yogis. High planks, low planks with the back bends. Something fancy, something playful. Or I'm just pausing. Join us in down dog or tabletop as we lift that left leg up behind us, pressing the floor away. Lift from the inner edge of that left leg. Inhale. Exhale, knee to your nose. Tuck the chin, press the floor away. Inhale, shoot that leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one. Inhale, reach. Knee to nose, hold. Get that left foot out in the front. Help it up, hoist it up. Drop that back knee down. Heavy. Nothing to do. No expectations, but on yourself, letting go. Face, eyebrows. And if you got the playlist going, I love teaching on Sundays because listening to Willie Nelson and Lionel Richie sing this song to me. If you want to start to lift yourself up, yogis, you don't have to. Your hands never have to leave the floor. Press your knee forward, roll your shoulders down, hips sink, breathe. If you want, inhale, reaching up, finding space and length, and then just letting everything fall. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, chill out. 3 more. Squeeze into that left hip. Press into that left foot as you come up. Strengthen the body. Exhale down. Last one, yogis. Inhale, reaching up. This time, only the right hand drops. Left arm twists open. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, left hand to the inside of that left foot. Right arm twists open. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale left. Exhale down. Right hand up. Inhale. And exhale down. Last one, yogis. Inhale, reach. Frame that front foot. Tuck the back toes underneath. Flow, yogis. Find whatever it is you need to reset yourself for that next shape, that next round. Look to those hands, please. Bring the feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Sweep the arms open, come on up, inhale. Hands to your heart. I'm gonna turn and face you, yogis. Chair, feet together, sink the hips back. So the knees don't come forward, your hips sink back. Hands to your heart, belly pulls in, tailbone pulling back, breathe. Don't enter into stories, breathe. On an inhale, we're gonna straighten the legs, lift the right leg out, flex the right foot, feel the stretch in that right hip. Exhale, chair. Inhale, space, left leg, squeeze here. And exhale back. Inhale, reach. And exhale back. Inhale, space. Exhale, soft. Inhale, right leg goes out, hold. Turn the toes to the calf, the floor, or hoist that foot up here, or even take your half lotus tree for my yogis that practice that. Does not matter. Find a wall if you need it. Pull the belly in. Pull the right hip back. Breathe. The ego wants you to be perfect. YogiAmy wants you to breathe. So be on the edge of your comfort zone, yogis. Learn how to breathe when you're unsteady, when you're unsure, when you know you're gonna fall. Breathe. Enjoy your trees. Solid left foot on the floor. Find that breath. 2 more, yogis. Just have fun with it. Laugh with it. This is life. Enjoy. All right, chair. Love you all. Breathe. Step those feet together, belly in. Remember who you dedicated your practice to. Thank you all for practicing. Come on up. Left leg goes out. Flex the foot. Squeeze. Turn the toes towards the floor, the calf, not on the knee. We don't want to press that knee or the thigh. Press the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. You should be able to grow from there. Left hip back, left hip down, belly in, breathe. Strong right leg, tree trunk. We can't grow if we don't have roots. That's where our energy comes from. That solid footing, the solid leg. Find something to look at that's not moving and breathe. I don't care what happens. You shouldn't either. We are practicing breath for life, breath for addiction, for sadness, for trauma. It's not perfect. It's not always stable. So you need to practice breathing through it all. Last breath, yogis. You got it. Sink down into your chair. Sweep the arms open. Inhale, and on an exhale, open up those arms. Present that heart high. Sweeping your shoulder blades up underneath your heart. Pinkies up. Try not to let the ribs flare out. Spread the fingers actively and just breathe. Feel powerful. Feel open and peaceful and healthy, ready to conquer this life. And then fold. Breathe. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down dog. If you want to flow, put a flow in there, yogis. Come forward into plank, plank on your knees. Right hand plants in the center of your mat, or your right elbow can go down. Left arm rotates open for side plank. Left side body on top of the right. If you want to put that right knee down, you most certainly can. I'm going to offer up everyone to take the left toes, those top toes, and put them behind you. Turn up towards the ceiling and breathe. Whatever shape you're in, if the right knee's down, it's fine. Everybody just breathe. Nice job. We're going to come back into our side plank. And then high plank. Plank on your knees, forearm plank. Other side, please. Right arm up, lift the hips, press the floor away, engage into the shoulder here. Right toes lift, drop them behind you. Press open towards the ceiling. Breathe. Coming back, side plank, high plank, lower all the way down, yogis. All right, stack the hands, forehead on the hands, bend the knees, windshield wiper. Looks like we got about 20 minutes left, yogis. This is where we start to take it down, breathing. All right, let's bring our hands out in front of us, nice and long. Feet are about hip distance apart, toenails to the earth. Pull your belly in and tilt your tailbone towards the back of the mat. Just lift your arms, so forehead heavy. This is really challenging right here. Now lift your head. Now lift your feet. Inhale, lift, squeeze in the back of the body. Exhale, split the feet apart and goalpost those arms. Feel the back of the heart engage. Inhale, legs come together, stretch out long. Exhale, squeeze again. 3 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale, hold, lift, lift, lift. Slowly lower down. Press yourself back nice and slow. Child's pose. I think this might be our first child's pose of the practice. Knees can be together, knees can be wide. Just breathing. What can you soften yet, yogis? Very nice. Come on up. We're going to walk ourselves forward, come to a seat. Going to bring the soles of the feet together. You can sit up on blocks or pillows. Dog hair in my nose. Inhale, lift your heart. Find some space through the thyroid, the thymus, and release forward. So a lot of us like to hunch forward. And I'm not going to lie, it feels really good in the back of my neck to do this. But this is what we do all day long, right? We're on the computer, we're driving, we're texting. This is our life. So when I fold, I like to start with a nice long spine, heart open, and then like I'm tipping my pelvis forward, keeping a nice long line. Now our ego hates this because we can't get as deep as we can if we do something like this. But start to feel the difference, really reaching those sit bones back. You can feel some space in the low back. So it's really up to you, yogis. I prefer flat back just to stretch through my low back. But occasionally I do drop forward because it helps my chronic neck issues. Breathe. What you thinking about? Be here. This is our time to heal, yogis. Don't miss it. All right. right, just walk yourself back up to upright. Legs go out in front of you. Let's reach up, sit bones on the earth. Folds. Again, lengthening through that spine. I think heart to toes to really lengthen out of the sit bones. Maybe even reach your sit bones back a little bit. And you can fold chin to your chest, just enjoying this time to heal. Or you could find some length. Just keep breathing. We're so close to Shavasana. Shavasana will be a piece of cake if our breath stayed steady the whole hour. And then walk yourself back up, my friends. We're gonna bend the right knee, place the right foot on the outer edge of the left knee. Right hand behind you, let it lift your heart. Left arm up, inhale, and exhale, either left elbow to right knee or left hand to right knee. Twist towards that right side of the mat. Shoulders roll back and down, hips heavy. Big deep belly breaths, yogis, in and out. Our bodies perform a million miracles a moment. There's 1,000 things that could distract you, yogis, but there's a million things that can heal you. Stick with those. Left arm up, inhale. Left arm down, exhale. Right leg long. Left foot to the outer edge of the right knee. Left hand behind you, right arm up, finding that breath, yogis, twisting, hips heavy, big deep belly breath, shoulders away from your ears, breathe. Jaw soft. 2 more deep belly breaths, you got it. Very nice. Right arm up with an inhale. Exhale it to the floor. Bend your knees. Place your feet flat on the floor. Hands behind you. Fingertips pointing towards your booties. Lift your upper body up. Spread the fingers actively. Do not press down through the wrists. That L-shape, index finger and thumb. We're lifting the hips. We're spreading the collarbones. Press into the feet. Lift the thighs. Press into the hands, lift the heart. Your head can be neutral, your chin can be tucked, or it can drop back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way onto your backs, yogis. We're gonna be on our backs for the next 10 minutes-ish, so snuggle yourself up if you need to. All the way on your backs. Please think wonderful, happy thoughts. Try not to enter into that toxic dialogue. How much of your body can you get to contact the floor? The tension inhibits our shin string. Pull the knee towards the face. And then drive the elbows and shoulders down and pull the knee towards your body. Big deep belly breaths. We're gonna take the left hand on the right knee, guiding that knee across the body. Arms go wide to a T. Gaze over that right shoulder if you have a healthy neck. If it's too much, bend both knees and let the right stack on top of the left. Breathe. Where is the tension now, yogis? Who are you in stillness? Untwist, unwind, pull the knees in, maybe roll those ankles around a little bit. Shoulders heavy, back of the head heavy. Left knee gets a hug, right leg extends long. Pull that knee towards your face and then drive the shoulders and elbows down, drawing the knee closer to the floor. Breathe into the belly. You're healthy. You're peaceful. You deserve it. Right hand, left knee. Twist. Arms go wide. Perhaps gaze over that left shoulder. And try and get out of your head and more into feeling. It's so challenging, yogis, I know. But you're here on the mat. It's safe. Your mat can take everything you have to give to it. So learn to be safe and challenged on your mat. Safe and sad on your mat. Brave. Yoga is not the easy way out. It is the way through pain and darkness, trauma, to heal. It's not ignoring or shaming or blaming. It's being present for all of it. 2 more breaths, yogis. You're doing amazing. Thank you so much. I'll try not to cry. And then bringing those knees back, yogis. Really nice job. Maybe even tuck the chin to the chest. Pulling those knees into your chin and down towards the floor. Breathe. Place those feet flat on the floor, really close to your bottom. Arms right by your side, thumbs by your hips, feet hip distance apart. Lift those hips for bridge. Lifting that belly button up, feel the tailbone tuck, pointing towards the center line between the knees. Stay here, pressing the floor away, or inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, circle them out to angel wings, back to where they came from. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, sweep them to your sides. 3 more breaths, whatever you're doing, whatever you're not. And slowly lower the hips, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Place a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly. Yogis, I'm so tough on these 2 parts of my body. My heart sometimes loves too much or not the right way. My belly sometimes does not look the way I want it to or function the way I want it to. These parts of our body won't heal with that energy. So imagine your hand on your heart and your hand on your belly, giving compassion and love for everything just as it is. We're okay, yogis. Just the way we are. Give your heart and your belly that energy. Last one, yogis. Help those knees together nice and gently. Both knees go to the right, arms go wide to a T and gaze over that left shoulder. A double knee twist. If you have a favorite twist here, yogis, you're welcome to it. Big, deep cleansing breaths. Inhales for space and exhales to let go. And then pulling those knees in towards the center. Twist over to the other side, yogis. I'm just going to do a quick time check. Perfect. Twist. Remember who you're practicing for or what you're practicing for. Yogis, I promise you, at this moment, you have everything you need. How amazing is that? Settle into that for 1 more breath. Untwist, unwind. Bring those knees into the chest. Bend or put those ankles right over the knees. See if you can grab onto the top of your feet. Pull your knees wide to the edges of your ribs and then squeeze them in towards the center. So our knees are pulling down, but yet they're hugging in. Tailbone drops, shoulders drop, head drops. The most awkward pose to breathe through. So beneficial. Happy baby. Yogis, if you have an inversion, you may take it. Your legs can simply be straight. You can be grabbing onto the back of those thighs. 8 breaths, yogis. It's okay if your mind won't settle. Try and learn to breathe through that instead of entering into anger and frustration. Soften that jaw. And yogis, whatever else you need, just take a few breaths. Is there anywhere else your body wants to go, following your intuition? If not, take a shape where you can just release everything. Heavy to the floor. Coming back to the focus of our breath for Shavasana. A million things can distract you, and a million things can heal you. Back of your head is heavy. Shoulders release. Fingers release. Hips are heavy. Toes release. And in your mind's eye, yogis, picture a mountain, a majestic mountain, one maybe you've seen or visited, one you've seen in a picture, or one you want to visit. See its strong base. And its height and mass and strength. This mountain cannot be moved. Winter may come. Storms may come. Fires may come. It may be green, it may be devoid of life, but it's still that strong mountain. People may come to visit the mountain on a cloudy day and be disappointed that the mountain didn't look the way it was supposed to, the way it was expected. The judgment doesn't change the mountain. The mountain remains strong. Be the mountain. Strong in your base. Unwilling to change for judgments. Unaffected by the external forces that are uncontrollable. Be the mountain in everything you do. Who you are, strong, rooted, unchanged. Judgments don't affect us. Whether the ups and downs of our lives don't affect us. We are healthy and strong, peaceful and grounded. Take 3 more breaths, yogis. And then remember your intentions, your dedications. Thank yourself for taking the time. Then you can slowly start to feel yourselves waking up. Some movements. It would have been awesome if my husband just delivered me a cup of coffee, but that's okay. And then you can slowly work your way up to a seat or whatever feels the best for you, yogis. We are done with practice, so I'm just going to close out. I feel good. I hope you do too. I'm so thankful and equally anxious that this is our life right now. I am thankful that I have this tool and this platform to still do what I need to do in my life to stay whole, to stay connected, and to stay healthy, which is teach and connect with you all. So I'm so gracious that you share, that you like, that you donate. I'm so gracious for all you do and all you don't do, yogis. I teach without any expectation of reward. So everything I get is just amazing. Please take care of yourself. Do everything you can to find joy and creativity and love. These Facebook Live videos are here for you anytime. So I'm going to just sign off quick and say thank you. Namaste. So again, yogis, thank you so much for practicing with me. You can donate, PayPal, Venmo, go to my YouTube, go to my Instagram, go to my Facebook and my website. I have a Rage Yoga coming up next month, so that should be really fun. I love to talk about essential oils, gardening. Please connect with me. Please find joy. Please let me know of any ideas or any thoughts you have on where my journey's going. It's really all about putting it out there and seeing what happens. So thank you for all that you are and all that you're not. Please share this video. Peace in, peace out.